Morning, everyone. Effectively, we don't have a quorum, for the regular workshop. So this will not be, counted as a regular meeting, but it will still be for purposes of transparency and openness. We'll keep the Zoom call open, and, any members of the public or the press that want to be here are welcome. But, okay, hope everyone had a nice weekend. We will start, I guess we don't need a roll call, do we, Madam Clerk?
That's what I was thinking, no, Mr. Cantonese is here.
Okay, we'll start with dispensing the minutes, approving the bills, pretty standard stuff, and then, the transfer of money. I see we have our auditor, Ms. Yoder here. Did you want to recap that just
Sure,
succinctly?
and I can let Bob talk a little bit about the sanitary engineers. It's basically just, transferring funds for the administrative fees. And then the second one, it's actually the auditor, is, the $1 million. It's transferring casino money to general fund. It's the first of two transfers for the year, into the general fund that were approved earlier.
Got it. Give me 1 second.
Hey, Commissioner, the 9 transfers for sanitary, that's our monthly transfer for salaries.
Salary.
And that totals those 9 that are listed,
Yes.
total $517,903.
Exactly.
Good. Okay, next, to approve additional appropriations.
Okay, so the commissioners that are the ARPA, those are listed.
Right.
There's a little $60 one that basically there was an interest error that was made on the amortization schedule. The 921, actually, according to my thing, that is also actually partially related to ARPA. It's the land site improvement, and then, that kind of goes along, according to what I have, the communication equipment. And if you need more information on that, I can ask, but I have
Yeah,
it.
if you can, and just shoot me an
Okay,
email on this.
Sure.
And then the 123.
The 123, hold on. All right, that is the new vehicle. It's from the casino fund,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
the maintenance.
For maintenance.
Right, all right, the health board, that's increasing interfund reimbursement, that's a formality, just because, they have their own board. That's just, it has to be approved, because of the ORC. The community development and the planning commission, those are both planning commission, and involve grants, and those will be, the revenue is accounted for on number 6. Those are grants, so we're increasing the revenue and then increasing the appropriation. Comment, please. Court is, a moment. All right, that's, a special revenue fund. It was not fully appropriated, so it's now being fully appropriated. The Metro Parks is money that was already given to them from the commissioners, and it's being used for the purchasing the right-of-way for the park district.
Very good. Okay.
Need more agenda? Yeah, sure.
Share one if you want. Oh.
Thank you.
Okay, transfer and appropriation.
All right, these are all transfers within funds. I'll really quickly go over them out of different order from mine, so hold on just a second. So the $300 one for the prosecutor is from consultant to computer equipment and software. The sheriff, the $224 is office equipment to mailing services. Not sure what the second one is on the sanitary engineers. Engineering to operation supplies I have for $25,000. Did the $20,000 one come in a little bit later?
I did that one on Thursday.
Okay.
But that is also for operational supplies for our
Okay.
pump stations, and that money is just coming from our collection sewer system appropriation.
All right. NeoCap is buildings to engineering. Health Board is equipment non-capital to insurance and remittances. Hospital Trust Fund.
That one's mine, auditor, but,
Okay, oh, I have it, sorry. Go ahead.
the Fund 720, so we started off this year, the HR department with $0 in our public advertising, and, so we obviously post many jobs throughout the year, and we are anticipating posting more, so we cannot have a $0 budget under our advertisement section. So what I did was I looked quickly, through Munis to see where we had some monies, funds that we could move around internally, and I'm requesting $3,000 out of what we called our operational supply fund, so that's where I'm confused. It wasn't called Hospital Trust Fund.
Right, and that's what I didn't have it that either.
Okay, good. So I just want to make that aware for the record that we did request this out of our operational supply fund. I have an abundance of money in there for some odd reason, and like I said, no money in advertising, which makes zero sense for human resources, so I got to get at least $3,000 in there quickly.
I'll have to change the fund name on that as well.
Correct.
That's not correct.
Is there something I can,
Well, when I submitted it, I said operational supply fund, so I'm not really sure,
which one is that?
right here. Okay.
I will.
Auditor, did you have the same thing?
No, I had, on my list, I had operation supplies to
Okay.
advertising and printing, and I had the fund listed at $720.
Okay.
Okay.
That changed.
Well, it might, so it should still be Fund 720, I'm just confused why it's called Hospital Trust Fund, it should say Operational Supply Fund.
Well, the operational supply would be the appropriation. Actual fund
Fund.
720, is that, I mean, I don't know what Fund 720 is, but
I don't either, I don't have my list.
I wonder if Fund 720 is the hospital.
That could be what's wrong, yeah,
But
so
that's-
it's either that the 720 is wrong or the wording of it.
Do I have Lisa talk to Chrissy, right? And Chrissy will,
Appropriation.
Yeah, appropriations grant, it's just not
Okay.
fund amount.
Well, we'll get to the
Fund.
bottom.
All right,
we'll fix it by tomorrow.
thank you.
Yes.
You're not.
All right,
you're not-
Clerk of Court is office equipment to shredding, recycling. Probate Court is public defender to temporary services, and that's a sign language interpreter. The Planning Commission is computer equipment to computer service and software, and the sheriff is from gasoline to jail seminars and training.
Okay. Second here. Okay, number 6, the amended certificate, anything on that?
That
Or the other?
was, I'm sorry, those were the, grants that we referenced in the additional appropriations. One is the CDBG grant, and one is the EDA grant engineering contract.
That's right, you did
So
that.
it's, we're amending the revenue to account for those grants.
Thank you.
Okay?
You did say that. Okay, number 7, to adopt a resolution to proclaim the month of May 2023 as Foster Care Month in Trumbull County, Ohio, in conjunction with National Foster Care Month's theme, Love, Peace, Foster Care. The Board of Trumbull County Commissioners wishes to honor all foster parents and volunteers who unselfishly give of their time and resources to help children by providing them with much-needed love and care, and thank these individuals for investing in the lives of children, thereby giving them hope for a brighter future. Will we be presenting a resolution on this, Madam Clerk?
Yes, sir, and they will be here tomorrow.
Okay, very good. We used to present it at probate, but are they gonna be here tomorrow to present?
Yes, they'll come here.
Okay, oh, that'd be
I think
great,
foster parents and foster
that'd be
children.
great.
Item 8, I believe, are through 13 are still with Planning Commission.
Is anybody here from the Planning Commission online? Anybody from the Planning Commission on the line?
Or would have to let them.
All right, we'll skip that and come back to it. That was what, 8, 9,
I believe the number 13.
oh no, 10 is, oh yeah, 10, 11, 12, 13. 14 is the highway engineer. Anyone from the highway engineers on the line? Anyone from the highway engineer? Okay. Skip them as well. That's going all the way to okay, 22, that's sanitary engineer, Bob?
This is a personnel action for the transfer of Mr. Jason Wells. He's gonna go from a TV grouting assistant to the TV grouting crew leader. He's gonna go from pay range 4 to pay range 7. We had 2 internal bids and 1 external bid, or 1 external application. Jason had more seniority than the other union bid, and he's more than qualified to do the job. He's actually been doing it for a couple weeks while this posting was up, so.
Okay, 23, to authorize Board of County Commissioners clerk to advertise for sale proposals for community senior centers to be provided to senior citizens, individuals 60 years or older. This is with our, senior levy funding. See, Brandy is here. Brandy, did you want to discuss that a little bit? Or no, this isn't you, Brandy, I'm sorry. This isn't elderly affairs. Where's,
Miss Diane was going to try to call in the line, so I don't know if there's a problem with
can we check and see what,
getting through. Let me see if, because I know she wanted to call in, so I can have Dawn call her.
And I quit taking,
okay,
our
New
service for
customers.
new clients,
yeah.
so.
But with that, we're gonna be able to almost bridge the gap there. We're gonna need a month and a half worth of funding.
Yeah.
And the commissioners can discuss that openly in an open meeting, but I think it's worthwhile because the program,
Thank you.
targets a certain demographic that really relies on that service.
Nice surprise, too.
Very good. Did I see a tear?
No. Oh, there's been a lot of those shed.
I know. No, you do an excellent job. Thank you, Brandy. Appreciate it. Okay, that is good news. 26. Juvenile court grant agreement and funding application, and to authorize the Trumbull County Juvenile Courts to submit the application to the Ohio Department of Youth Services. Funding application request will be for the biennial period beginning July 1st, 2023, and ending June 30th, 2025. The estimated base and variable allocation for fiscal year 2024 is $1,127,000. Is that right?
1,000,000.
$1,120,000, yeah, yes, $954.12. These monies will provide for the continued implementation of a myriad of direct services such as early intervention, treatment, and rehabilitation programs for delinquent and at-risk youth. Do we have anybody on the line, in juvenile court about the grant?
Yeah, this is Stacy from Juvenile Court.
Hi, Stacy.
Hi. Yes, we're just requesting to have our application executed so we can get that submitted to the Ohio Department of Youth Services.
Okay, pretty straightforward. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else you want to add, Stacy, to that, or?
No, that's all.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Number 27, to accept and award the lowest and best bid submitted by Prout Boiler Heating and Welding, for the Trumbull County Courthouse HVAC upgrades, Phase 2, VAV boxes and controls, replacement project at the Trumbull County Courthouse. This is a project that we've already started, but, Jim, I'm sure this
Should be Mike Smolinski, he should be on the phone.
This is Julie Green.
Is Mike on the phone?
This is
Mike
Julie
Smolinski?
Green.
No, I believe she called in before she did, so, hi, Julie. I can say that,
Hello.
we could try to get Mr. Smolinski after Ms. Green, but the resolution to support this, Commissioner Cantala Mesa, is at the very end. I got it this morning, and I didn't want to mess all the numbering up. We have a resolution from, ARPA Council sent by Attorney Rogers to support item number 27, as this is the ARPA project.
Looking at Mike.
Yeah, sure.
Is he on?
Well, Julie's on
first.
now, apparently,
I think just whoever first comes, so Julie's items are,
the ones you've already passed before.
yes,
Get through them,
Okay, Julie, with items,
8 through 14, I think,
8 through 14, did you wanna start with number 8? We're gonna skip backwards.
8 through 13.
8 through 13, we'll start with number 8.
Could you tell me what number 8 is? I don't have it in front of me. I was in a meeting with
To
Nick
concur with the
Hogan.
planning commission for the Board of Trumbull County Commissioners to modify agenda item dated October 26th, 2022, Journal Volume 155, in order to designate Nick Coggins as Assistant Director as the official interim floodplain administrator on behalf of the Board of Trumbull County Commissioners, effective, May 9th, 2023. I was unaware that TJ was leaving.
Yes. He gave his 2 weeks notice, and we are actually in a meeting right now working on the updated job description.
Okay. Shame, he was a good employee. Number
Yeah.
9, a request that the Board of Trumbull County Commissioners execute a letter of support for the Trumbull County Career and Technical Center Construction Facilities Expansion Proposal. Basically a letter of support. That's not gonna conflict with anything we do, right?
No, it's specifically for technical center funding through the state of Ohio.
Okay. Number 10 is to approve the satisfaction of mortgage on the property of homeowner Naomi Smith. Probably pretty self-explanatory. Through the home mortgage program was for a 10-year declining term. Ms. Smith has satisfied all terms and conditions of said mortgages by payments in full. How many outstanding satisfaction of mortgages do we have, or so? Just out of curiosity, how many do we have out there?
Well, there is, we, on our active spreadsheet, we have 124, some of which have not been satisfied, or most of which have not been satisfied. They still have some years left, but we have a tracking sheet to bring those to satisfaction when they get there. We did find additional documents in the back, and we're verifying any and all that have or have not been released, and if they need to be, we will be sending those over while they get there. But we do believe the vast majority of all mortgages were satisfied last year when we did that compilation of, I think, about 45.
Okay. Thank you. Number 11, to concur with the Trumbull County Planning Commission and partnering with Eastgate Regional Council of Governments, is requesting the Board of Trumbull County Commissioners to authorize the following actions. Number 1, ratify submitting a readiness assessment questionnaire of interest in the program. Number 2, authorize the Planning Commission to plan, prepare, and submit the Appalachian Digital Equity Accelerator Grant application in the amount of $30,000 to Connect Humanity. And number 3, authorize the President of the Trumbull County Board of Commissioners to sign and execute any and all pertinent and necessary documents and agreements associated with the application and implementation of the Appalachian Digital Equity Accelerator Grant application. A special note, Connect Humanity has partnered with the Appalachian Regional Commission to work with 50 of Appalachia's least connected communities, preparing them to build next-generation broadband networks. I guess, Nick, this would be more you, or?
Yes, this is something Eastgate brought to our attention, that with the ARC partnering with that Connect Humanity, they offered a readiness questionnaire that needed submitted by April 30th in order to be one of the eligible participants of those 50 communities. They're going to select the top 50 most ready and in need. We think our feasibility study puts us in a very good position to receive that $30,000 of technical assistance. So it's just something that's going to better our broadband program. And it, like I said, we were notified of it. The readiness questionnaire had to be submitted April 30th, which was kind of a tight timeline. That's why it's ratifying it. And then if we are selected, there'll be additional documentation we'll have to prepare, submit, and have signed. We just want to be ready if we are selected, which we think we're in great position to be. that we're ready to go and we don't miss a beat with that program and keep moving the broadband forward incrementally as is.
Thank you so much. Number 12, to amend agenda item dated April 9th, 2023, to add the cost of the contract for MS Consultants, Inc. for $299,720.
It was,
This is
the
for-
dollar amount was left off the original resolution.
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
The dollar amount for the contract was left off the resolution when it was originally, awarded.
Just amending
Amending.
it to add that amount of money.
Good. Okay. All right. 1 second. Okay, number 13, to authorize, execute an agreement with Trumbull Neighborhood Partnership for the purpose of acting as a responsible entity to be performed by the Trumbull County Planning Commission, in order to carry out the activities funded through, Community Project Funding Grant Agreement. Anything you want to add to that, Julie?
No.
Item 34, Commissioner, is plannings also that I thought would be discussed today at a public meeting, so I,
Okay. Item 34, we're gonna skip ahead here, item 34, so that we can get the planning commission off the line.
should say to concur, I apologize,
that's
that was
fine.
not
So we,
that.
so that, I mean, obviously, we can't make a decision today, because we're another commissioner, but I guess we can discuss. So to concur with the Trumbull County Planning Commission to request the Board of Trumbull County Commissioners approve the following actions related to the, program year 2023 CDBG Community Allocation Program. Number 1, approve 3 eligible projects from the list of scenarios provided to you below to be funded through the, program year 2023 CDBG Community Development Allocation Program with a total allocation of $578,000. We are required to allocate 20% or $115,600 for fair housing and administration, leaving a balance of $462,400 for no more than 3 eligible projects. I got from Mitzi the scoring of the project submitted. Anything you want to
Okay.
add on that?
No, I believe our recommendation was to, award it to the top 3, but it's well within your authority as commissioners to decide which projects out of the 5 you would like to fund. And we provided you with scenarios to make it, more convenient for you.
Do we have the ranking that you can send over to the commissioners?
Yeah, I believe that was sent with everything, but we'll send it again.
I have like a little spreadsheet, Julie, that has blue, red, and, yellow,
Mm-hmm.
but is that what it was? I'll go look at the agenda items too, maybe there's something else that should go with this, I'll go.
I'll have Mitzi send it again, not a problem.
Oh, thank you very much, thank you.
Yep, yeah, sure.
So tomorrow, I know they're on a timeline with this, so tomorrow during the public meeting, it could be presented and discussed then, is that how?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll make a note.
Well, is the resolution submitting those 3 that were scored by them? So
No,
we'd have to
I don't-
announce which 3 we'd want to fund?
I don't know, without,
Correct.
like, discussion, so. I don't know how.
Yeah, you would have to decide which 3 projects you want to fund.
All right, we're just gonna need a copy of that ranking or the spreadsheet that you have with all the projects, so. There was 5 total projects that submitted?
Correct.
A notice to go in the paper here on May 12th, so, thank you.
Okay, we'll take a look at that and discuss it tomorrow. Okay, what did we leave on for that?
I was, well, I'm gonna see if I can get, have them to have Mr. Selesky call in.
What number is that?
I think it's 24, fine.
The resolution to support it at the end, the Mr. Selesky project.
27.
Yep, 27.
You had someone from the engineering office.
Oh, yeah, we
Sugar
might as
barrel.
well do, well, we could do that, we might as well do the engineers, this is pretty routine, but Steve, you have an agenda in front of you, I'm sure.
I do, thank you. I apologize for being late.
Oh, that's okay. All right, guess we'll start with 14, I think that's you.
Yeah, 14 is where I started.
And again, these are kind of, not formalities, but we'll go through them.
Yeah, a lot of them are permits and formalities. 14 is asking the board, to advertise for letters of interest for the Braceville number 11 bridge replacement project. On by 4 o'clock on June 8th.
Okay. 15?
15, those are all right-of-way permit requests. There's some driveway access, driveway culverts, natural gas connections are the other three.
Okay. Pretty standard. 16?
Number 16 is to grant quarterly operator fleet permits. There's 2 companies that are doing projects. One of them is in Southington Township and one in.
Okay. 17 and 17 is permit as well.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
those are both permits. Steel coil permit, 18 is an annual permit.
Okay.
Number 19 is requesting the board to award the lowest responsive bid to Carrilla Contractors for a, road improvement drainage project in township on South Canal Street. Federally funded program, 0% loan through OPWC, 0% interest. We'll pay that back over the life of the project. And at both of those companies, there was still a bid and files. Their bid totals are there, and they're both qualified, pre-qualified through OTON.
Closing roads is listed.
Yes. First 2, North Levitt Road and Newton Falls, Braceville, Robinson Road, those are being closed for bridge inspections. Bridges every year, and those ones need to be closed for that inspection. And then North Fox North Road in Hubbard Township is being closed for a culvert replacement. That'll begin next Monday. They're projected.
Thank you. For 21 as well.
Yep, this is the last one, highway. This is to approve the agreement with GPD Group. They're providing professional engineering services for the Austintown Warren Road Bridge, rehabilitation project. That's the over Meander Reservoir. A federal program as well. There's federal money that will be, paid directly through Eastgate and then.
Good. Okay. Did 22, 23, 4 and 25. 27, okay, 27. We're waiting on Mike Selinsky. Is Mike on the phone?
No, I'm sorry, Commissioner, I'm here
Oh,
representing Mike.
or Bill, I'm sorry.
Bill Hart, Trumbull County Maintenance Operations.
Good to see you back there.
Mike had a funeral, so he wouldn't be here today. This is to award Trump Bowler, the lowest bidder, for the Trumbull County, house upgrade. Boxes and, house.
We only had 2 submitted.
Yes, sir.
This is for the VAV boxes and the,
At the courthouse here.
when will we be finished up with that?
That I don't know for sure. I know this is, I think, the last step of house renovations. We are supposed to be delivering the chiller here pretty soon, so that'll be in full upgrade of the courthouse.
We've put a lot of money into that, and
Yes, we
rightfully
did.
so. It's a difficult building to, heat and cool, number one.
Yes.
One of our jewels here in Trumbull County. We wanna make it, continue with it being very operational and very efficient, so. Get that, so.
Yes.
Anything else you wanna add to that?
No, I just passed the next two that are for Michael as well,
Okay,
which is the actual drainage and parking lot replacement. We have to ask for advertisement for parking lot replacement and drainage, and as well as for the 4-horse barn buildings roofs. We're asking permission to advertise for bids for those two.
yes. Very good. I'm glad things are moving along. That's all ARPA related.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Thank you, Bill.
Yes, sir.
Anything else we need to add?
I apologize, Commissioner, Mr. Smolinski did tell me he had a funeral, so I apologize for
No worries.
not remembering that.
Still filled in.
No, not for that, but I do have the next one coming down the line, which is 30,
Okay,
which is to get a new copy machine for our maintenance department downstairs.
yes.
It's $2.28 more than the, lowest bidder, but we're getting a lot more, for our buck for the upgrade, and it's, we're keeping.
What are we getting? Just so we know.
Pardon me, what's the upgrade?
Yeah, what are we
It's,
getting?
let's see, we're
Unfortunately,
getting
it's gonna
65 cents per impression, color impressions,
The note kinda.
yeah, the note explains it. It's, $48 per month, including 100 block copies, which we never exceed, but, field services, print management programs covering labor, machine, parts, supplies, except paper, of course. Additional block copies, billed quarterly, 0.0065 cents per impressions, color impressions, billed at 0.59 cents. So, yeah, we're getting a lot more for this, for $2 more than the lowest.
Actually cheaper, Miss Kay said, when
Yeah.
she figured it
When
all
you do all
out,
the
its
math,
appearance
It
is
looks
that,
like, yeah,
Yeah,
according to the
yeah.
note, that if you went with the RICO, which is 46, you would have to pay for those 1,000 black copies
Yes,
that you don't exceed,
yeah,
and it would be 55.50
yeah,
to
so
do that. So it's
Very good.
actually a
we
little
broke it
bit,
down, Kay broke it down to the penny.
yeah, she did a good job.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Very good. Thank you. Number 31, to authorize Denny Malloy, President of the Board, sign and accept for use, substantial completion, the newly constructed Mineral Ridge Elevated Water Tank as part of the Mineral Ridge Hydraulics Improvement Project, Contract A, known as County Project Number 2W15, in the Mineral Ridge Public Water System, Weathersfield Township. Scott?
Real quick, Commissioners, if you recall, this project was awarded the $3 million from the House Bill 168.
Yes.
So the overall total project cost between the elevated water tank, the booster station, and some transmission mains, engineering, construction is approximately $4 million. So 75% of this was funded through the, House Bill 168, which that would have been retired through the water rates through the Mineral Ridge Public Water System, so now we only have $1 million versus $4 million being retired.
Very good.
So it was
That
a
was
great
the only-
thing, and
That was the only project awarded through House Bill
Yeah.
in Trumbull County,
Yeah.
House Bill 168.
most importantly, as Steve knows, this addresses a lot of long-standing water pressure and volume issues within the district. They now have fire capacity, resolve some, low pressure in some areas, so all around it was a great public health and welfare project.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you, very good. Number 32, to receive the petitions by owners of lots and land situated on Bonnie Bray Road and Bonnie Bray Road Extension, and being approximately 1,160 feet total, located in Vienna Township, requesting Trumbull County to provide for the construction and maintenance of sanitary sewer lines to serve said lots and lands, to refer said petitions to the Trumbull County Sanitary Engineers we're just receiving these petitions. In other
Yeah.
words. How many homeowners is this approximately?
Affects 26 properties total. Some are vacant, obviously, but it's 26 properties. It's kind of right near the heart of the center of Vienna,
Yeah,
where it's at, so.
good. Okay. How close to, like, Little Squaw Creek, and this will connect all that, basically?
Well, this is actually, just east of the intersection of Warren Sharon Road and 193. Kind of where we stopped phase 4, is we extended up Warren Sharon Road. This will extend off of the phase 4
Gotcha.
section.
Very good. Number 33, to reappoint the individuals listed as members of the Trumbull County Local Corrections Planning Board for an additional 3-year term commencing May 6, 2023, and ending May 6, 2026. This action per the request of Keith Evans, Chief Probation
I
Officer.
think that's incorrect. I grabbed an old one. I have to
Okay.
fix that.
You mean the action per
The
Keith
action,
Evans?
yes, that part, I don't believe.
I think he's retired.
Yes, I have to fix that. I grabbed an old one, just noticed that. But I would like to say with this, that, these board appointments are, follow statutory compliance, and I can print that. I've printed it every year for the board, meaning that somebody from these entities has to be on this
Got it.
board. So I can print that, but I will fix, Mr. Keith Evans' name.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Okay. Number 34, we covered with Julie, some CDBG grant awards coming up. Number 35,
35 and 36, we just have to procure an employee of record. One, because the next BRN grant is coming out to,
what's BRN?
Business Resource Network.
Okay.
And the other one is for, CCMEP, case,
Comprehensive case.
thank you, Comprehensive Case Management Employment Program. Thank you. So we can provide youth, work experience,
Very good.
employee of record there too.
And this is funding through
WIOA.
WIOA.
Well, the BRN will be through the BRN grant, but it'll be
Okay.
derived through WIOA.
Gotcha.
And the CCMEP, it'll be the WIOA portion of that.
Okay. Very good. Anything you want to add to that, or that's it?
No, that's enough.
That's enough. 37, to adopt a resolution to proclaim the week, May 7th, 2023 through May 13th, 2023 as Tourism Week. I know Beth Carmichael has been itching to get here and give us a
She can't
little
make it.
presentation.
She
What?
can't make it this time,
Oh,
so
dear.
she said to just, we do have a full resolution, and
She's always helping with
yeah,
everything.
she has
every week.
she has something outside, important meeting, but she said we could just read her resolution, and then when she can make for a presentation, she'll be happy to come back and do it, so. Dada was gonna help us out, but, she could not make it this week, so we'll just read her
Well, we'll do it.
resolution and,
So we'll do it when she's
Yes.
here next.
yes, yes.
It's a week, a month. Well, she'll want to change that. Number 38, to authorize, Denny Malloy, President of the Board of County Commissioners, to execute the 2023 application for Certificate of Coverage Annual Fee Assessment Statement for Trumbull County's Petroleum Underground Storage Tank. Something that's been ongoing with us, Jim, these storage tanks for the term of, essentially, what is this doing? For the term of July 2023, we're not having to pay anymore for this. I remember some of these projects we had to pay for with the underground storage tank.
Yeah, we always paid an annual fee.
And this, by statute, we have to adopt this,
Okay.
certificate.
Weren't there deficiencies that we had to clear up in the past?
Oh, yeah, in the past, yeah, we had.
But this doesn't reflect on any of
No.
that? Okay, very good. All right, number 39, adopt authorizing expenditure for responding to or mitigating public health emergency from American Rescue Plan Act Fund, House HVAC upgrade Phase 2, VAV box and controls replacement at the Trumbull County Courthouse.
Yeah, this is just the ARPA resolution, which goes along with, Mike Slovinsky's number 27 for route. Just you actually authorize and declare that it's proper expenditure of the ARPA money.
Does this need to come before the other one? Or no?
No, as long as it's on the same agenda.
Okay. And essentially, Bill, those VAV boxes will be able to, for lack of a better word, communicate between each other so that we can have regulated temperatures in offices and there's not,
Yes, sir.
I'm cold, I'm hot,
Yeah.
everybody's miserable.
Everything starts like your home. You set it, comfortable, you wanna be warmer, jack it up.
Very good. Okay, any questions, any, comments, concerns?
We got one, Commissioner, you brought to my attention 2 weeks ago about trying to do something with the elevators. I mentioned something to Mr. Masaki about, you know, what direction we need to go into, or what funding we may have to use to get them upgraded, or,
Here's the thing, I just don't, I know we have one functional elevator. I don't wanna see a repeat of what happened before, and I know it's a very expensive ticket
Right.
item, but this is something that we have to fix. Or have to not fix, you know,
well, the other one's getting fixed. That's not the problem. The problem is if this one goes
But
down, then.
they're having to
parts and pieces
manufacture,
are-
they're having to manufacture parts
Yeah.
because they don't make the parts anymore.
Correct.
We need to have a game plan here as to when and how, we're gonna transition from these two elevators to new elevators.
Yes, sir.
Because you wanna see people really upset, have those elevators down.
Yeah, correct.
You'll have,
So,
they'll be calling for our head.
we need to figure out what direction we need to go to at least funding, or if we need to talk to Auditor Yoder here, so,
I mean, it's not a cheap, this is gonna be very expensive, but at the same
Correct.
time,
process would be if they take one down, all of those parts and components stay on site, just in case the other one was to drop, then we at least have something to transfer to until the other one gets done, then we'll have a new one operating. Swap out replacement.
so we won't lose any service in the meantime. Yeah.
Correct.
I think we need to look at that, I really do.
Plus the back order was how long? 6 months?
So everything's, you know, gonna take a long time, so.
Correct.
Only a matter of time with these,
Yes, sir.
these are originals, right?
Yeah.
This
Well, they've been
is
upgrading.
IM.
I'm sorry, Commissioner.
That's old.
No.
The motor is 63, the upgrades were in 2000, I take that back, 95, I think
They did the remodel.
yes.
Yeah.
The motor's still original now. I
Yeah,
have
that's-
another question.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to ask for a change order, possibly for $2,000 some dollars. When we do the transfer switch at Family Court, we didn't anticipate the power to be down as long as they needed to have it down for transferring of the power from the old switch to the new switch. We like to do that on a Saturday. Only operations is in the back in detention, which lock the children up in the cells, no movement for the time frame that they need to make the action happen. Instead of interrupting the whole building for court and whatever goes on, because it will be dark when that happens. Half hour times 2.
I don't think we have much of a choice then.
And that's why I'm here for a change order if possible, and it's ARPA funds, so it was brought just to ask.
I'm fine with it.
Commissioners-
It stays within the scope of the project, you're not changing anything, so
No, just money, just a money figure by
Yep.
2,000.
we need to do, so.
If there's ever anything after this workshop that somebody needs on for the good, I'm always able
Well,
to.
let's,
We need to
I,
put that
I'm,
on.
as one commissioner, I could put something on the, so for next week, can we put that on?
If you give me
Or
the
if
language.
we have an agenda item,
Yes,
move on it, might as well, now that we're thinking about it.
thank you. I'd like to do this coming up here, so.
Okay. Anybody else?
Commissioner,
Yes,
I
sir.
have a question, because I haven't been here in a couple of weeks. Whatever happened with the March radio towers? I know that there was a problem with funding, and Brookfield and Hubbard is experiencing a major problem with communication.
Yes, that's been moved up to the front of the list as far as ARPA funding.
Yeah.
We've gotten
Yeah,
approved,
it's been approved for funding.
Oh, did
we got approved for funding, we just need to move on it, on our
We still
agenda.
have a legal question as to the funding of where the money, where the purchase comes from.
In other words, is it,
State,
a lot of the,
state has bid out that shelter box.
that's not an issue.
Well, yeah, but we still have to get final details. Then there's the rest of the balance of the equipment.
And is that equipment purchase sole source? Is it through state purchasing? Is it, do they go out to bid? There's a lot of questions there.
Yeah.
Their legal counsel's still not getting, the state's legal counsel still not getting back to us on. And I've seen
Right.
emails back and forth with you.
Plus, we still need the prosecutor's opinion.
Yes.
And it may ultimately go back to, Tanya for her opinion.
It looks like it'll probably move forward.
Oh, yeah,
It's just working out those little kinks, but we're, as soon as we get answers to those, that's gonna be at the front of the list, because
Yeah.
obviously safety.
Yeah, the
and security-
state is very willing to go forward once we get the funding. We have all the paperwork signed.
Great.
Thank you, good question. Anyone else? Yes.
Commissioner, it brought to my attention, last week, and we had United Healthcare in here on Friday.
Mhm.
This is something that I really need to make the board aware of, because we are gonna have to make a decision. I already have my decision, but I wanna make sure that the board's up to date on it. So essentially, we, decided back in 2018 not to cover, methadone treatments under our insurance, due to the Mental Health Parity Act, that we are technically out of compliance with that. So I have all the documentation here. United Healthcare is saying that we need to pay back what we owe. So we denied claims of people who were getting methadone treatment, whether it was, somebody's child.
How much do we have to?
24,000. We do have enough in the, excise hospital, not hospital fund, surplus fund. We already worked through that with the auditor's office.
Why would we not cover that? I don't understand that.
Do you want the honest answer?
I do.
Rich Jackson made the decision on his own to not cover it. So, and I have that in writing. So I have a lot of, we're undoing the things that we've done in the past, and that's just the way that it's gonna be for a little bit.
And it's 24,000,
Correct.
but it may open up
Yes.
to
So,
become more.
correct.
Because, and
We
United,
don't know.
right, we don't know. That's what we know was denied.
Yeah.
So, and it's a little over, you have probably the exact.
So it's
figure. A little over
exactly 24,000.
Why would the
300.
carrier allow us to deny it
Well, because it's,
if it's out of compliance?
Well, so it was a decision that was left up to UHC. They kind of rolled the dice, so technically, at the time, the Mental Health Parity Act has strengthened since the time that we didn't do that.
True.
So there's that too. So the mental health has become a huge issue. FMLA, we cover as a county, a federal law is that anybody with a mental health disorder, which is technically considered substance abuse as well. So
Right.
substance abuse now under FMLA falls under that.
Mhm.
So we have to just be a little bit more compliant in what we're doing. This is us just kind of looking out for the county. We have to give UHC a decision. So what we're saying is that we would cover the past denied claims, and then we would open it up for future potential claims. So if anybody were to need these services going forward, UHC county would cover them. The only issue that we may have is exposure. So what'll happen is once we pay back this $24,000 to people that we denied, of course, there might be more that come out and say, well, you denied my methadone claim, you denied this,
or
you denied
we
that.
didn't, those were the ones that were formally denied. We may have some people who said, well, I didn't think it was covered,
Or
so
tried.
I never applied.
Never applied.
And so that may open us up. Now, 24,000 over the course of how many years?
It was
We'll get
technically
5
5
years.
So not too bad. We don't have a lot of,
Plus it doesn't
UHC,
do a lot of work.
Right,
they didn't feel like we had a ton. I asked that question,
Yeah.
Auditor Yoder was there, obviously. I asked, they said they don't feel like there's much of risk associated, but the long story is short, if we don't do it, we have a huge risk on our hands because the Department of Labor can't come in and cite us.
Right.
So we need to
I
fix it.
definitely think that should be.
right. So we
I
probably
don't
should
understand why we're,
have
And
that
then I have some
especially in today's
resources.
age.
Right, I have some resources here on what the actual Mental Health Parity Act is and why we need to do it, just in case you guys wanna have it.
Yes, please, thank you.
You want one for the record?
Make copies for that one.
No, backwards.
Or I mean, for the other two commissioners, you can make copies?
Yeah, I'll make sure that.
I'll put it, I'll give it to them.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, so that should
Appreciate
be
it.
either this week or next week on the agenda if possible,
I
so
would
that we
hope
can
so.
move forward. We have well, now less than 60 days, but we
Right.
do need to deal with it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, we have a deadline of when we have to make a decision by.
So where would, what fund would that be taken from?
We have a surplus in our healthcare funds through the auditor's office, so we're okay. Actually, thankful, I have to tell Kim and Penny account, they kinda had an idea that this was gonna happen. So they were actually planning for this
Yeah,
without
they're-
planning for this,
They've done
so.
a good job on that.
They've done a great job, and we were,
They were just kind of doing what they were told when it came to this.
yeah.
And unfortunately, it's probably something that should have come to the commissioners
Didn't come to the-
initially, and
No, it did not come to the
and
commissioners, we found that out.
we just need to correct it now.
Well, at the time, it was, like you said, rolling the dice, and
Sure.
I think, obviously, it's a different time, and we know a lot more about everything, and
Yeah, I mean,
there's a
to be
heightened
fair,
sense of everything with all that, so
I agree.
I think we need to correct the mistakes of the past. Okay, anyone else, questions or comments?
I think along with that, just to kind of just a point of information for you, Alex and I are meeting today, and we want to address, a lot of things, right? We have a to-do list here that we're gonna come up with, but part of that is going to be the policy manual, and particularly making sure that we talked about this a few weeks ago, that kind of has to be our starting point for making sure that we have correct policies in every department. This kind of has to be redone first,
Agreed.
and with the aim of updating it, but also, identifying items within the audit that we can correct. And we're not gonna be able to do that alone. We're gonna try to, do a committee. That'll probably come before you guys at some point, forming a
I
committee.
know that
We
was one
need,
of the first things Alex talked about, too,
Right.
when she was
and
brought on board, so.
And Alex, because she's HR, and myself, because I do have, payroll and, the paymaster, it sort of goes together for us to work together and try to pull in all the other departments and elected officials to try to come up with something good.
Appreciate that.
I also need to piggyback off that, but then additionally, I had Todd Littell, the Trumbull County Recorder, reach out as well. We are not necessarily in compliance when it comes to public records policies. They need to be implemented into our personnel policy, which we don't have currently, so this all ties back to the personnel policy.
Yep.
So I kind of came on and we have all these things that I gotta get addressed. So I am gonna be working also with, Todd Littell closely to set up, to understand how we get it into the personnel policy, but the audit did say that we have to have the public records, Trumbull County public records policy within the personnel policy. And then there's certain departments that don't have or recognize a public records policy. So, as the commissioners, we have one here, but each independent department head and elected official also has to have a public records policy.
Right, and there's a list of those that don't within
Correct.
within the audit.
Okay.
So we'll work all together.
Yep.
To try to maybe form a committee, and again, that'll
Well,
probably come before you guys to do that, but,
Go
yes,
ahead.
ma'am.
And then each department could have a department head or have somebody, like, in our office, we all have to take, we have public records
Yes,
training.
the classes, yep.
So,
And I'm working on helping Todd get those set up.
Which-
So I've already actually reached out to the attorney,
right, but I
to-
can help with that too, and Miss Denise, downstairs in the state auditor, they're very helpful with,
Yes.
with things. They
Right.
want to help make things
Right,
better,
the
so.
idea is compliance,
yeah,
it's
so-
not punishment.
Yeah, exactly,
No, it's
so,
not.
but we could help them to take records training so they do understand it as well.
Thank you.
I think we're just trying to take more of a training, refresher approach, not, we didn't do this, or it's
Right.
just more of, this is what we,
We're always having to update.
yeah, exactly.
Do those
Yeah,
things.
right.
That's what we do.
Yep.
Okay, is a commissioner gonna serve on that committee, or one commissioner to serve on it?
I mean, it's up to,
Or somebody from the commissioner's office, or?
And we can, you and I
You
can
can-
talk
just
about
let
it
us know,
more.
'cause if
We kind of wanna, we haven't had a chance to talk about
Yeah,
that, we've
so
sort
let
of
us know.
putting out fires
Right.
together. And, I do think, like, every elected official should have a representative, we're gonna
Mhm.
request that, whether it's the elected official themselves or somebody they designate.
Gotcha, okay, yeah, just let us know, I appreciate you guys taking the initiative. Anyone else?
Yes, good morning, Commissioners. Can you hear me?
Yeah, who's this?
This is Mariano Longo from Downbeat Musical Arts Center. Speaking
Hi,
to,
Mariana.
good morning, speaking to you from Las Vegas.
Oh,
Wow.
beautiful.
I just was waiting to interrupt because I don't know if this is the correct meeting to ask or offer any information about the ARP grant applications. Is this the
Yeah.
correct time to do that?
Well, so Mariano, there's one commissioner in this workshop right now, and it's just me, it's Mr. Cantala Mesa.
Oh, I see.
But, that's okay. We've received your application. We know that, one of the things that scores well with me is that you're partnering with the city of Warren, and the city of Warren is committing, funds to your project as well.
Yes.
Which to me, goes a long way towards collaboration and working with other entities. So that's, we haven't moved it along yet to our, legal counsel, but we have had some public meetings on ARPA funding, and the picture is becoming a little bit more clear. I will say that your, project is very worthwhile. We have a lot of worthwhile and a lot of different eclectic, different projects that we're gonna try to fund, yours being one of them. But again, as I mentioned, I see you got that commitment from the city of Warren, and I know at a public meeting, the commissioners had mentioned if you got that commitment that we would look more favorably on your project, so, I intend to do that, but, hang tight because, we're still not at that point yet. We've forwarded some of our safety and security, big things in the county, not to say that yours isn't a big thing, but, these issues that need resolved immediately to our legal counsel, but, as far as some of the other projects we haven't yet, that doesn't mean they're not gonna get funded. It just means that we're, still deliberating on scoring those projects, so hang in there, Mariano, and
Yes, I understand, and just for future clarity, are you sending a video signal from this meeting, or is it just audio?
just audio for the currently, until we get, the cameras in this part of the
Okay.
hearing room.
Okay,
But,
very
it's
good.
just audio right now.
Yes, I just wanted to make sure so that I wasn't causing a disruption,
Not at all.
pushing buttons over here that I shouldn't be pushing, so.
Well,
all
what
right.
happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Well, thank you for your time. I will be a frequent visitor and be available to answer questions about my grant application when the time is appropriate.
Like I said, it's one of the most unique asks that we've received, and it's very, the arts and culture and all those things and education are very important, and I think you're at, it's a unique project that the commissioners need to take a look at, so, and again, the funding from the city of Warren means a lot, so.
Okay.
We'll be in touch, okay?
Thank you so much for your time. Good morning.
Thank you, sir. I guess anyone else, on the line? I didn't know we were. Anyone else on the line with a question or comment? Blaine? Yes, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner, I was going to ask if, Lisa D'Annunzio Blair has offered to be a designee or alternate for the Board of Revisions Board. As Miss Amy Shannon, went to the Family and First Council, some of these are mandated that we have to attend or we get an unfavorable, we don't want that to happen. We know your schedules are busy.
Sure.
But I didn't want to just take it upon myself, but Lisa has offered, it's, I think, the first Thursday of the month, to come in here and represent our office for that. So I just wanted to know if that would be okay to,
I think that's perfect, whenever we can have our clerk or deputy clerk there,
yes,
as opposed to anybody else.
because we're so busy.
I know.
We feel bad.
She's willing to take
No,
that on,
she
that's
is.
great.
But I mean, what I mean is I feel so bad when they have a meeting and we don't have anybody there.
For sure.
So if we could get more organized and have people there to get information for you all, it'd be great. Thank you.
And I commend her for volunteering,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Anyone else on the phone? Anyone in the room?
So tomorrow, I guess I will bring up anything additional that I need commissioners' input in totality on, so that way it's in public, because our May is open enrollment for workman's comp.
Okay.
And I do have to have a decision on, I have a very limited time window, so I've already been getting calls from additional MCOs, so it's just for MCO, not our TPA. Our MCO is currently with Minutemen. My personal, I think that we should continue with Minutemen. The law states that if we want to stay with our current MCO, that we need to do nothing during this month. However, if the commissioners want to entertain additional, presentations, I've already gotten the calls. Sedgwick has called, somebody who used to own Corvell, who's now in with Sedgwick, has called. So if we want to entertain those, we only have about the next week or so to do that before.
I believe one of your functions is research and do your due diligence on that. I wanted to take your recommendation on that.
Thank you.
Been far more than I have, so, trust you, and I know you've, since you got on, you've, been looking at that, so, I appreciate it. But so, for me, there won't be any,
Okay, wonderful.
I'm fine to move forward.
And
And I guess, like you said, if we don't do anything, we'll just stay with Minutemen.
Right. I just want to make sure everybody's aware, though, that.
I appreciate it, thank you.
And then 911 directors are ready as well for interviews, so I'll give you the grid, and you guys,
Start when, next
it's all
week?
forward, yes, as soon as you guys are ready.
Great. All right, nothing else? All right, thank you all, appreciate it. We don't have to adjourn or anything.
You have a nice day, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.